Hello, and welcome back to the Games Embassy. I am one of your two hosts, Ambassador Michael, even though I'm on my own today. So, actually, one of one host. And we just got done talking and watching through the Xbox E3 conference, and that was it was something. It wasn't bad. It just was expected for the most part. Like it pretty much hit every beat you would have expected it to hit. So we're gonna go through and we're just kind of gonna talk about it and kind of go over some of the info. It was not that much that's like crazy, so we'll go through the news and we'll discuss it as we go. Whoops, for some reason I have that open. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Y'all know what the fuck the point is. Um, Yeah, so they start out with Outer Worlds launching on the 25th of October, and it's also included in Game Pass. It looks pretty good. It looks like Fallout had a little baby with a, what do you call it? Oh, it looked like No Man's Sky and Fallout had a baby. That's what it looked like. Uh, so there's that. It looks like it'll be pretty good. Ninja Theory announced their new game, Bleeding Edge, which is a multiplayer third-person melee game. They're having the technical alpha on June 27th. No release date as of yet. Then we went to, Ori? Yeah. Ori, Will of the Wisp, February 11th, 2020, so a little bit ways out. The people from Minecraft made a new game, calling it Dungeon Crawler. Minecraft Dungeons, I think is what it's called. Spring 2020. Actually, I have in my notes as I was watching it. I was like, this is just a dungeon crawler version of Minecraft. And then they literally called it Minecraft Dungeons. So, whatever. They said that there were 14 games coming from Xbox Game Studios and 30 games entering Game Pass today. They showed off a bit of Fallen Order again, mostly cinematics. They showed off a new Blair Witch game coming out on August 30th. It looked kind of, I thought it was an Outlast game because it uses like a camera and a VHS camera and stuff, or like a camcorder. And I was like, oh, it's just another Outlast game. All right. Cyberpunk 2077 got its release date of April 16th, 2020, so kind of sooner than expected. It looks really, really good. And they also announced that they, for some reason, added Keanu Reeves to the game. He's the main part of the game, apparently, which is freaking awesome. So, Keanu Reeves was at E3 for some reason. Spiritfarer was announced for Xbox and PC. Battletoads, The Legend of Wright, and a literal shitload of ID at Xbox games launching on Game Pass. They also announced that starting today, you will be able to get Metro Exodus, Hollow Knight, Arkham Knight, and Borderlands: The Handsome Collection inside of Game Pass. They finally talked about Game Pass for PC. It's launching in open beta as of today. It is $10 a month. There is a new Xbox app on PC. Xbox further elaborated on Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, and they have said that Xbox Game Pass Ultimate includes Xbox Game Pass on PC and console, and it has Xbox Live Gold. So, in addition to having just Game Pass and Xbox Live Gold, for roughly about 3/4 of the price that you would pay for them independently, you also get it on PC, which also has a different list of games. Some cross-pollination, some not. So there's that. Microsoft announced they announced the Microsoft Flight Simulator, which looks pretty cool, but it looks like it would be way cooler if it was in VR. You're just flying around the world, basically. Excuse me. Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition was announced, remastered in 4K. It has a new campaign added to it. It is coming this fall, and it is on PC. Wasteland 3 was shown off. I think Wasteland 3 had already been previously announced, but I could be wrong. Double Fine is joining the Xbox Game Studios. They have been purchased by Microsoft. They showed off a bit of Psychonauts 2. The rumored Lego Star Wars complete, the one that has all the 9 films, was announced. It's called Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga. Really nailing in that Skywalker Saga part of that Disney's really trying to nail home. So it'll include all 9 films, including the current one coming up this year, and it will release in 2020. Dragon Ball, what was it? Dragon Ball Project Z? Dragon Ball Z Project Z? I don't remember what it was called. Anyways, that got a name change. It is now called Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, and it is changed to a 2020 release date, and it seems to focus primarily on the Saiyan saga. Saiyan and Frieza saga. So it's still a pretty large amount of time if you follow the anime. I know some people are going to be butthurt that it doesn't follow all of Dragon Ball Z, but that show went on for like 10 years, so like give them a break. 12 Minutes was announced. It's a time loop game about repeating the same 12 minutes over and over again. That game is coming soon. Way to the Woods was announced to be releasing in 2020. They did some weird video for Gears 5. They didn't show off anything. They didn't show off any campaign. They didn't show off any trailer for the single player. I guess it's called Gears 5 Bound by Blood, or maybe they were just referring to a music. So I don't know. Bound by Blood was on the screen. That's all I know. It's coming out on September 10th. For some reason, they have decided that if you purchase the Ultimate Edition, you'll be able to access the game 4 days early. Or if you have Game Pass Ultimate, you'll be able to access the game 4 days early. There will be a technical test in July on the 17th for multiplayer. They'll show off the Horde mode at Gamescom, and then they showed off the Escape game mode here at E3, which is a new game type, I guess. I don't know. It's fine, whatever. And then they showed off that the last thing is if you play within the first week or you pre-order the game, you get a Terminator skin from the upcoming Terminator movie. So there's that. In an unexpected move, they announced the new Elite controller, the Xbox Elite 2.0. It features new sticks, new adjustments that you can make to the sticks, new triggers, new hairpin triggers, 3 profiles, and a rechargeable internal battery. They also changed the grip. The grip is all around now from the back to the front. And it's looking pretty phenomenal. I'm not going to lie. I already have the Elite controller. I like that a lot. I will also probably get this because I am a heathen and I can't control myself. So it looks really good. No terms on pricing or release date yet, but we'll talk more about hardware in a little bit here, so we'll see. Dying Light 2 got a spring 2020 release date, so it's still vague, and a new cinematic trailer. Forza Horizon 4 is getting Lego DLC, and that is DLC with Lego cars and DLC with Legos, I guess, on the map. I don't know. It's weird. It's coming out this week on June 13th. It looks pretty cool. The Gears Pop game got announced, and they asked you to pre-order it. It's a mobile game. They asked you to pre-order it. I'm not pre-ordering a fucking mobile game. Stop it. Stop with your bullshit. That was their wording, not mine, by the way. It said pre-order now. So, State of Decay 2 is getting a DLC expansion called Heartlands. It's available now. They didn't give any details on pricing. Phantasy Star Online 2 is coming to Xbox in spring of 2020. It will have crossplay, and it will be free to play. Apparently, that had been said to come forever, since 2012. So it's, been 7 years apparently since that was supposed to come out here. But it's here now, apparently. So, Crossfire X was announced. It will be coming first to Xbox in 2020. And it looks like a Call of Duty cinematic. They didn't show off any gameplay, and I was like, I have no idea what this fucking game is, so I can't tell you any more than that. They announced Tales of Arise, which I believe is a Tales game. It looks like a Tales game. It sounds like a Tales game. I could be wrong, but I thought Tales games were turn-based. This one is not. It actually looks really good, but it also kind of looks like Xenoblade. It looks like Xenoblade, actually. So there's that. That's coming out in 2020. No month release date there. Borderlands 2 DLC will be free inside the Handsome Collection. They showed us some more Borderlands 3 cinematics, but we already know about all that. The leaked Elden Ring game has been confirmed to exist They showed off some cinematics for it. It is confirmed to be a George R. R. Martin and Miyazaki game. From Software is indeed making it, and Bandai Namco is publishing it. So, the Dream Team that made Dark Souls is back to do more weird, fucked up shit. And it looks like they basically took George R. R. Martin's tack for fantasy and medieval ages and kind of combined it with their tack for medieval ages. And it looks pretty good, actually. I'm pretty excited about that. They went on to talk a little bit about Project xCloud at Xbox. They didn't really say too much about it in terms of further testing and public access. They are testing it publicly at E3 today, they mentioned, but that was about it. Then they mentioned console streaming, that you're going to be able to turn your Xbox One into an xCloud server. I don't know what the hell that means, but my assumption is that it's so that if there are no servers near you, you can just have it stream from your Xbox to whatever, like your PC or your phone. I assume it's like remote play. I'm just assuming it's remote play, where it just streams it to whatever device you want inside of your house. I could be wrong, but that's all the information they gave us. They did speak on their new console, Project Scarlet, which is apparently what it's just called. I don't know. They said the same thing when they announced Project Scorpio, and then they named it the Xbox One X. So, who knows what its actual name will be. They went on to talk about how it has a custom AMD processor, 4 times more powerful than, I think, the X. That's what I heard. I could be wrong. I saw somebody else say the S. If it's 4 times more powerful than the S, that's not saying much. But if it's 4 times more powerful than the X, that's a lot of fucking power, dude. They went on to talk about the console being able to do 120 frames per second, 8K, ray tracing. It will have a solid state drive. Apparently, it will be able to utilize the solid state drive as virtual RAM. I don't know how the hell that works. But I'm not a hardware guy like that, so what do I know? It is called Project Scarlet. It will release next year, holiday 2020, so get saving. They mentioned that all games and accessories should be able to be used on the new console going forward, so if you purchase that brand new flossy-looking Elite controller, you should be able to use it on Project Scarlet instead of having to discard it and being very upset. And then they showed off Halo Infinite, and again, it's coming Halo holiday 2020, and that just looked fucking phenomenal. So that's all the news in case you are not caught up. Now let's discuss. Again, I think this was a pretty solid showing. I think they did a good enough job. I think they did what they needed to do here, but I don't think they went above and beyond. Personally. I'm much more interested again in what Microsoft is doing as a platform holder at the moment than I am with what they're doing with their games, because their games just aren't that interesting. And again, I still kind of feel that way here. Halo Infinite looks really good. Outer World looks really good. But Outer World wasn't made by them. It was already made before they got bought out. Same thing with Bleeding Edge. I have no interest in Bleeding Edge. Ori Will of the Wisps looks phenomenal. I'm excited for that. I want that. But otherwise, exclusive to Xbox. Let's see. Gears 5. Forza Horizon. State of Decay. And Halo. So what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What, the 5 games maybe that are like decent? But like I don't know. This has always been my problem with Xbox. Their first party just doesn't interest me like at all. That's why I don't play their games. Like, it's not like a mean thing. It's just I just have no interest. So, like, Halo Infinite, I'm interested in. Outer Worlds, I'm interested in. Gears 5, I'll play. Just out of sheer curiosity at this point. Battletoads, I have no real interest in because I thought it was going to be more... I don't know. I don't know what the fuck I expected, honestly. Like, it's exactly what I probably should have expected. But I don't know. I guess they want it's very cartoony and kid like. I guess maybe they want their like kid friendly thing, you know. So maybe that's what they do to appease the children. I don't know. But it's just like the games that come out of here that are on Xbox, solely on Xbox, just aren't really worthwhile. Like I'm don't get me wrong, I'm kind of salty about the fact that I'm not gonna be able to use my fucking X. Like I've had my X for what, a year? What, I got my X? No. When the fuck did the X come out? October, November. Yeah, no, I'll have had my X for 3 years at that point, which is a decent enough time for a console. But like, I need to understand better what Project Scarlet is. They say next gen, but then they say you can use all your stuff. So is it like the jump between the S and the X? Or is it like the jump between the PS4 Pro and the PS5? Because the PS5 is very clearly going to be its own thing. Like it's pretty distinct from my understanding that Sony has no interest in it communicating with the PS4 in terms of like it being on the same architecture, being fucking the same OS, like that kind of stuff where like the S and the X are identical in terms of their software. The only difference is the hardware and how it runs it. So that's what I mean. Like if you jump over to the whatever it is, whatever they call it, Project Scarlet, and it's not this jump that's like, okay, there's no backpedaling, there's no cross pollination here. Like if Halo Infinite isn't on the X, that's fine. I hope it's on the X because I really don't want to have to buy this and the PS5 in the same year. I will, but I don't want to. Like, it's just one of those things where it's like, I guess I'm being a little bitch about it a little bit because, like, we're in this weird spot where they didn't clearly define to me what the system is. And so that's my problem. If they were like, this is next gen, it's so much more powerful that there's no way the old games can run on it, I'd be like, okay, that's fine. That's understandable. That's been every console generation ever. But if it's like, oh, it's still marginally powerful, but it's not going to look like a leap and a bound above what you see on your X, I'm going to be like, is it really worth my while? Like, I really want to play Halo Infinite, but I also really don't want to pay whatever it's going to be, probably $500 for this thing, just to play Halo Infinite. And then it's like, oh, cool, I have access to all my old Xbox One games. But then it's like, okay, so now I have my Pro, I have my X, I have Project Scarlet, and I have a PS5 all in my fucking entertainment center. So I'm gonna have to get rid of both of those things. And I can't get rid of them until I get the new consoles. So like, it's a catch-22 scenario. Like, what the fuck am I gonna do? You know. I think that's the thing that is like what the fuck about it the most to me, because last gen was different because we didn't have backwards compatibility. It was very clear, okay, so I don't have to get rid of my PS3 to get a PS4 or get rid of my 360 to get a 1 because I can still play those games on the 360 or the PS3. And like we talk about this all the time. Chris bought his fucking Xbox One like, I don't know. I'm gonna call him. I'm actually gonna call him. Hold on. I hope he picks up. He like never picks up. Hang on. Hello. Hello. Hey, just so you know, I'm in the middle of a stream. I wanted to ask you a question so I can make a point. How late after the original Xbox One launch did you buy your Xbox?
A month.
Okay, that's what I thought. Thank you.
Yep. All
right, bye. See, so like he bought it like a month afterwards, and him and I discussed it because him and I had lived together when he bought the damn thing, and I was like, "When did you buy this?" He's like, "I don't know, like forever ago." I was like, "When was the last time you even turned it on to play it?" He's like, "I don't know." I'm like, "What? Then why did you buy it?" Like the only thing he played on it was Ghosts, I think, which he hated, and then Minecraft. And he just didn't care enough about Minecraft to boot it up. It was like an inconvenience to him, so he would just boot up his 360 instead. And then our friend Adam, that's been on the show before, he had a PS4, and I remember when he got the PS4, because I was like, damn, that's a fucking console. Like, that's a slick looking console. Because I've been out of gaming for so long at this point that, like, I really only play with my friends. Like, I had a 360, but I casually played. Like, I wasn't playing, like, every day. I was playing, like, a couple times a week, if that. I was mostly just playing with friends. I didn't play by myself. And then he had his PS4, and he rarely ever played it when it first came out. Like, yeah, he played it, but, like, it was just so sparse at the beginning of those generations that it wasn't worthwhile to upgrade. Whereas here, I think it will be because, like, I'm going to be able to play every single game I currently own on those consoles, which is great. But then the issue is how am I going to justify that leap? I'm basically going to pay $500 to only play Halo fucking Infinite. You know what I mean? Like, instead of just waiting, whatever, a year and buying it a year later and then just, you know what I mean? Just getting it on sale, like on a cheaper sale or whatever. So, like, that's my scenario. Whereas, like, I understand, like, for the Xbox community, they're all going to be there day one. They're going to be like, all right, I'm just going to get an Xbox to buy Halo Infinite, and that'll be that. And it'll be like, okay, that's fine because all you do is play your games on Xbox anyways, so it doesn't hurt you to do that. But if you're one of those people that doesn't pick a primary system, it's a little bit iffy. I can't justify it personally. So, like, if I'm in a scenario where I have to pick a PS5 or I have to pick the Xbox, it's like, I think I'd go with the PS5 only because the X is so powerful already. And there's not that many games for me to justify that jump. And I think that's where we're at right now, where maybe next year, like, I need to see how all these consoles are, like, marketed to us. Because, again, it's not like last generation where it's like these games are going to have a significant difference to them. There's not. Like, there just isn't. So, I need to see. You know what I mean? I guess I'm being presumptuous that it's not going to be that much of a difference. But, like, we're already at a point where it takes so damn long to make a game. It's so complicated and complex to make a AAA game that, like, if we push it even further, it's going to take even longer. It's going to be even harder. You're going to need more people. And it's like, I don't want to do this. I don't want it to be the same thing where it's like, okay, cool. I bought it and I can play all the games that are coming out, but there's no new games coming out. So I'm just investing early and just kind of sitting on it. That's a hard sell to me, personally. Like, I know people are going to be there. I'm probably going to be there day one for PS5, even though I'm still pissed off at Sony. But from my understanding is all the current PlayStation lineup is coming to PS4. Like, every single thing that's currently announced is coming to PS4. There's no PS5 games announced yet. Whereas this is a Project Scarlet game. So, like, I guess I'm kind of defeating my own argument because it's like, well, I'm buying the PS5 and there's nothing to even play on it. Really. So, it's just one of those things where it's like, if you're a multi-platform person, you have to make the choice. And my choice is going to probably end up being the PS5 unless there comes up this whole slew of fucking games I can only play on Scarlet that are worth my while. But the reason why I think there's a difference between my feelings on the PS5 and my feelings on Project Scarlet is, again, because of PlayStation's IP, like, and their pedigree for games. Like, I just don't care that much about the games that they're trying to sell here. Like, they don't resonate with me. And that's fine. I'm probably not their target audience, honestly. But Sony's games do. That's why I don't feel like I'll be disappointed if I buy a PS5. And I don't feel like that cost is sunk. I don't feel like Microsoft's earned it from me, I guess. For me to be like, here's $500. I hope you do something good with it. You know? Whereas with because that's how I feel about the X. I feel a little burned on the X, honestly. Like, in hindsight, I feel burned on the X. Because I wouldn't have bought my Pro, and I wouldn't have bought an Xbox One. I would have just had a regular PS4, and I would have had an Xbox One X. That's how I would have handled it. But it's just been such a short time frame since I bought both of these consoles that I'm like, the upgrade has to be worth it. So I don't, and we have to stay in the relevant conversation if we want to keep, up with the show and the content that we want to produce. And I don't know who among us currently is gonna, get new systems. I assume Daryl will be pretty on board with getting a new system soon. That's just, he's into that kind of stuff. And like I said earlier today, Chris pre-ordered Stadia, so we're pretty on top of all this stuff. But it's one of those things where it's like, I'm not convinced, I guess, but by Xbox is showing here that I need to buy Project Scarlet. I am convinced that they care. I am convinced that they're working towards making Project Scarlet legitimately the best system they can. That I believe. But what I don't believe is just this notion of like, I have to buy this thing day one. That's a hard sell for me. And again, like you look at it and I think they're doing awesome on the platform side. They're doing so many great things. So many things I wish Sony would take hints from and actually implement. But they're just not nailing the games for me. It's just a hard sell for me on the games. And I know that for a lot of people it's not going to matter because they're going to have Game Pass. They're going to get Gears 5. And so it's just this thing right now with... so I guess I'll move away from the next-gen stuff and Halo and kind of talk more about, I guess, just what they have going the rest of the year. And I guess going into pre-E3 next year. Because that's ultimately what we're going to see is like E3 next year is going to be, what do you call it? Is when they showcase really this console and get you ready for its launch. So I guess let's look to see what's before that, because like a lot of these games just, there's a lot of indies, which is fine. Outer Worlds is going to be a decent hit for them, I think. It's still coming to PS4. I'm glad that it's included in Game Pass, though I'm not sure how that worked with, I think 505 is publishing it, or was publishing it. So I don't know how that worked with them. I don't know if they just paid them and were like, we'll just pay you whatever to get it on Game Pass. I don't know how that works. Ninja Theory's fine. I'm sure their new game, if it'll be included in Game Pass, I'm sure it'll be a decent multiplayer game, but I just don't want it to be like Apex where it's like, oh, look, here's this new game. Oh, it's already, nobody really cares that much. So, Ori is probably the strongest pick of anything on it. Like, I know this is going to sound like blasphemous, but like, I think Ori is legitimately one of the best things they have in their lineup. It's just phenomenal. So that's going to be really, really good before they talk about Scarlet. The Minecraft dungeon game will probably be big. It probably will sell pretty well. It'll be in Game Pass, so I'm sure it'll do well. What they've done here, like, I know I bitched about Scarlet for like whatever 10 minutes, but like this sold me on Game Pass. It didn't sell me on Scarlet, but it did sell me on Game Pass. I'm like, fuck, dude. There's so much that is, Game Pass is so worth your money. Like, it just is. It's one of the few things that I'm like, you are getting a deal. I don't feel ripped off. I have no idea how they're making money on this. Like, I legitimately don't understand how they're making money on it. It's such a great deal. Because you're paying what? So $15 a year, or $15 a month for what, 12 months? That's $180 a year. So $180 a year, you're already paying $60, so minus that's $120 a year. Again, if you're buying two Xbox games a year, it's worth your while. And again, I'm assuming Game Pass will work on, Project Scarlet. So it'll work on Project Scarlet. I'm sure you're going to get games with gold on 360, games with gold on Xbox One, Game Pass games day one, and a whole backlog of game, like, that's awesome. That's amazing. That's phenomenal. But why can't your enthusiasm for creating great subscriptions match the quality of games that you're outputting. That's the thing that upsets me. It gets me so mad. Because, like, it's not that they don't have talented people. They do. But just like, what? Like, I looked at Gears 5 and I was like, fuck, man. It's another Gears. Like, fuck, dude. Like, I like Gears. Gears is good. But Jesus Christ. Do something. So, I don't know. They sold me on Game Pass here. Game Pass is, I think, ultimately their killer deal. That's what sells the fucking system. Because if I can pick up Project Scarlet and I buy Game Pass, and it's like I have just this plethora of fucking games, and I can download Halo Infinite day one, that is a worthwhile sell to me. But without Game Pass, it's not. Like, I'm not gonna drop $600 basically to play, just to play fucking Halo Infinite and whatever Call of Duty comes out that year. But giving Game Pass as an incentive to that's worthwhile. Like, I would go and pick up an Xbox Scarlet with whatever, a year Ultimate, like day one. That would be what I would do. I don't have Gold and Game Pass right now. Chris and I don't even have Game Pass. But I think that'll be a huge sell for them next generation because it's like, dude, $15 the first month, and here's just an unfathomable amount of games. So that's really, sorry, I'm like connecting the dots. So like I gotta walk back some of the shit that I talked on Project Scarlet. In terms of traditional hardware launches and how we have always seen them launch, it doesn't make any sense, but that's not where we are anymore. So let me walk that back. That's on me. So let's discuss going forward. So if you purchase Game Pass, which at this point it's $5 more a month to have Ultimate than it is to just have Xbox Live Gold, which pretty much everybody needs now anyways. That is a much higher sell to me. That is a better sell to me. And it's like, I'm selling myself on it now, basically. Like, I talked myself out of it, and now I'm back in. I'm already back in. I hype myself back up. I'm sorry, Xbox community. So, yeah, I'm going to keep going down this list one more time and just kind of comment, because I just gave you the news. And then I'm really excited about the Lego Star Wars games, because we didn't get one for Force Awakens, I don't think. No, we did. But we didn't get one for whatever it was, The Last Jedi, the one people don't like and do like. So that'll be good. I think that'll be really, really good because it's going to come out on current gen, and then it'll be backwards compatible on next gen. And so there's no real reason to fucking make another one. You know what I mean? Like, I think they're pretty smart with the way they've done that. So that'll be really exciting. That'll be a worthwhile $60. Because we've previously paid $60 for 4 through 6, and then 1 through 3, and then 1 through 6. So, there's that. That'll be fun. I'm really, really excited about this Dragon Ball game. It looks really, really good. I made this correlation a long time ago. It looks like it was called Project Z. It reminds me of Legacy of Goku a lot. Legacy of Goku was a RPG that they put on the Game Boy Advance. It's not fondly remembered, the first one, but Legacy of Goku 2 and Boo's Fury were both very, very good games, and I think they're taking hints from that, because Legacy of Goku ends with the Frieza Saga, and then picks back up right after that, before the Android and the Cell Saga, and then it ends before that, and then the third game is all about Boo. So if I got a trilogy of these games, going through all of the Dragon Ball Saga, and then another one on Super, I'd be okay with that. If they don't, no big deal. If they do, that would be awesome. But with them naming it Kakarot, it makes me think maybe these games will be focused more on individual characters. Like, this one might be all about Goku, and the next one might be all about Vegeta or Piccolo or Gohan or, whatever. Because if you were to go in succinct, the next saga focuses very heavily on Gohan. So I think that's probably where you would see it go next. But we'll have to see. I'm really excited about that because it's the kind of game I've always wanted as a Dragon Ball game, and it just fucking makes me so excited. Indies, there were indies. I talked shit about Gears. The Elite controller, I'm gonna buy that. Like there's just, as soon as I saw it, I was like, okay, you put it. The major problem I have with Xbox controllers is they don't have internal batteries. Um, and my major problem with the DualShock is that its internal battery sucks. It dies in like 4 hours. It's awful. It's abysmal. Um, but apparently this one has a battery up to 40 hours of charge. It has a dock that comes with it. It's basically just a beefed up, better version of the current one. And that's fine by me because this will turn into my second player controller, and this is a really fucking good second player controller. And then worst case, if this one goes to shit or the other one goes to shit, I still have an Elite controller. So I think again, it's worth your while. And again, it's something I wish Sony would take a fucking hint from because they've been lazy and are just like, no, we're not making one. They've just let other people make them. The Forza Horizon 4 DLC really hit a nail with me before the pop thing showed up. That Microsoft is very, very good at making brand connections, communicating with other brands, partnering with them, getting them to collaborate with them. And I think that is a very strong power that they have that the other brands don't. I don't think Nintendo has that power. I don't think Sony has that power. I'm pretty much done here. I mean, I pretty much talked all the shit I'm gonna talk. Talked consoles, we talked games, talked exclusives. I talked about the only other brand thing I wanted to talk about. I think that's it, y'all. So that's fine. Yeah. I didn't plug. So if you enjoy our content, you would like to see more content, please subscribe, share, like any of that stuff. Also, we have Patreon if you would like some extra goodies. You can start at $1. You can go up to $5. You can go up to $100 a month if you want, whatever you would like. But it helps us grow the channel. We are eternally grateful, and you will be provided some goodies in the meantime. Until next time, I am Ambassador Michael. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you later tonight for Bethesda. Bye.